Hey guys, it's Chey. Welcome to the channel if you are new, and if you're not, hey boo. So for today's video, I really just wanted to channel my inner baddie. I wanted to play in some makeup that I either have been loving or that is pretty new to me and I was excited to try out. So we have some products from P.LOUISE, a lot of products from PINKHONEY, and a couple products from L'Oreal, and I used those to create this beautiful look that you see. I got my tragus pierced for Mother's Day, and I think that is so cute. If you guys like it here, if you like my vibe, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we're gonna go ahead and get into this baddie transformation. Hey guys, so the skin is nice and prepped, and I did get my tragus pierced for Mother's Day, so we're gonna go ahead and get into prepping the skin. I'm taking the DANESSA MYRICKS Blurring Balm Powder. This is in the shade Universal, and I like to warm it up in my hands first before applying it all over the face, and I just love this. And here I am showing off my tragus piercing because I'm so in love. So we're gonna get into the brows. Of course, I'm starting out with the PINKHONEY Brow Fluff. This product has literally changed the way that I do my brows. And honestly, I never even used like brow gel, but this, you literally dip a spoolie in and work it through your brows and they are laid, okay? They are stuck. And I love that. That way I don't have to fill in my brows as much, and it just looks super natural. You can see all the hairs, and PINKHONEY is a UK brand, so I would definitely check out some of their products. I did feature a lot of their products in this video because I have accumulated quite a lot of product. So this brow fluff is such a necessity for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other brow off camera, and we're gonna go ahead and get into the eyes. All right, so we are back. So this is the P.LOUISE Desert of Desires palette, and I'm gonna be working off of this one down here. So when you open it up, you also get this top palette, so you get 2 rows of eyeshadow, and it's literally a neutral lover's dream. Okay, so PINKHONEY just came out with their new brush collection. You get 16 pieces, you get face and eye brushes, and I'm obsessed with the color. It's like a muted brown, so it doesn't make your brushes look super dirty and dingy, which I love. Okay, so to start with the transition shade, we're going to take a nice warm brown into the crease and just start to set that. Then we're taking a nice chocolate neutral cool tone brown on the outer V, and we're stamping that and then slowly bringing it onto the outer corner. And then we're just going to make sure that we blend and marry those 2 colors together. And then just for a little bit of depth, I'm going in with some black. You don't want to use too much. So now it's time to cut the crease. So I'm taking this P.LOUISE times Made by Mitchell blank canvas, and as you guys can see, I am literally taking my time when using this product. It is a thicker product, so you want to be careful that you don't get it everywhere, and it does dry down pretty fast, but I'm trying to just perfect this cut crease, so I'm just taking my time with it. Then I'm going to go ahead and tap that excess of that blank canvas, because if not, it's going to look a hot mess. So I'm just tapping that excess, and then I'm going in with that transition brown just to blend. So we have a transition from the shimmer shade that we're going to use to the outer corner. So I'm taking the shimmer, and I mean, look at how stunning that looks. Okay, I didn't use a glitter glue or anything, just the dry product, and as you can see, this baby is shimmering from a mile away. Okay, so I'm just tapping, using tapping motions all over the lid, and then I just go back and make sure that that warm brown is blended. Like I said, I don't want any harsh lines. So then I take that dark brown and I just apply that on the lash line just so it gives that smoky effect. Okay, and I'm really feeling it. Okay, so these are the lashes I'm using. They're for Amazon. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this eye off camera, and we're gonna come back. So I have the eyes on. Okay, so we're getting into the base. I'm color correcting using the Huda Beauty faux filter color corrector. I love that this isn't like super like orange, because I find a lot of color correctors are really orange on my skin. Then I wanted to do a little cream or underpainting, so I'm taking like this liquid bronzer essentially, and I'm applying that into the areas that I normally do. This is from PINKHONEY, so this is literally super sheer. I think you can just like apply it all over your skin if you wanted to even it out, but I didn't know how dark it was. It was my first time trying it. So here I am just popping on the lashes, and I'm telling you, a lash really does make or break a look. So I'm just blending out the color corrector, and as you can see, it is definitely evening out that darkness around my mouth, and then of course these under eyes. Okay. So now for foundation, we're going to be mixing these two foundations. We have the One Size and the Urban Decay Face Bond foundation. On the top is the One Size, it's more neutral, and the bottom is the Urban Decay Face Bond. And these are both a matte formula, so I just wanted to mix them together. The One Size is not my perfect match, so it needs a little bit of warmth to it. So I've been obsessed with the Urban Decay Face Bond, so I literally just mix it in with everything. This brush that I'm using is technically for bronzer, but it's so big and fluffy. I was like, yeah, it's giving foundation brush for me, okay? I like something a little bit more precise as far as bronzer. So this is what I use for foundation. As you can see, it's all blending out super effortlessly, and because I don't want my skin to look really cakey, I want it to look nice and blended, I'm just going over my face with a sponge. So I'm using brushes and a sponge throughout this whole process, and as you can see, my skin looks way more skin-like. So we're getting into some cream bronzer. This is also from PINKHONEY. This is in the shade Bourbon Bliss, and this is actually one of their viral products. This is their cream bronzer. They did extend their shade range, so literally I believe that they have 33 cream bronzers, so you're definitely gonna find a bronzer shade in their line, which I love. So I'm taking that same cream bronzer to sculpt the nose, and I love a good nose contour. I don't know, there's something about it that I just love. And I'm also applying that on my lip, just because I feel like my top lip gets lost. So adding that cream bronzer really helps. Next, we're on to concealer. These are from PINKHONEY, and this concealer is full coverage. It's lightweight, and I'm running low. Okay, I'm running low of these concealers. I love the shades. This is 17W that I'm using right now, and this is like my perfect highlight shade. It is similar to like the Juvia's Place number 12, but this is definitely way more full coverage. It's lightweight. It's not heavy under the eye. And this is a brightening shade that I'm using right now. It's 10W. And as you can see, she is very bright. So if you're scared of a bright under eye, I wouldn't recommend this, but I love that inner corner pop right there. So I'm letting that sit on the face. You don't want to let it sit down too long though, because remember, we got that matte foundation on, so it's time to spray the face. Okay, I'm taking the Morphe coconut setting spray, just to make sure, you know, we can blend these products out. Okay, so after that's dried down a little bit, it's time to get to blending. So I'm just taking my foundation brush and going over the areas where I used that more skin tone shade for my concealer. And as you can see, it all blends out really effortlessly with this brush. And then we're gonna go and do the under eye, and as you can see, it's all blending really good. My under eyes never looked better with this concealer. It's definitely on par for the Natasha Denona High Glam, but it's just super lightweight, and it's not as like gunky, I guess, underneath the eye. But just to make sure that I didn't use too much product, I am blending underneath the eyes, because the last thing you want is for your under eyes to crease. So, and I kind of went heavy handed, but the face is eating. So here we are using their cream blushes, because of course if you have cream bronzer, we're gonna do cream blush. So I'm taking this shade right here. I believe it's called, what is it called? I think it's called Lychee Love, and I'm applying that. It is a little bit on the lighter side, but that's okay because we are gonna do a little blush ombre. So I like to take the lighter blush first, but we have a puppy break. He needed to go out, so I took him out, and now we're into this blush called Watermelon Whirl. It is a little bit deeper, so I'm focusing that more on the back part of the cheek. That way we have that nice ombre. Okay, so I'm blending out that nose highlight, and we're gonna go ahead and get to setting the bronzer. So remember, the face is still wet. This is from Give Me Glow Cosmetics in Miami Heat. These bronzers are so good. I literally have 3 of them, but I'm taking this using tapping motions to set that bronzer because nothing has been set on the face. So you just want to be mindful when you're setting that powder. You want to use tapping motions. Please don't be swiping because you're going to move all that cream product. So here I am just making sure I have all the creases underneath my eyes blended out. And Pink Honey does have a like under eye brightener. I would recommend using a brush like I'm using in this video, because when you use a powder puff, you will get a full bright under eye. Okay, so just to set the under eyes, I'm taking the brush, but you know, if you're bold, definitely use a powder puff. For blush, I'm taking this blush from L'Oreal. This is in Fearless Coral, and look at the pigment. Okay, L'Oreal did their big one with this Infallible line, and I am also using tapping motions because, like I said, that area really wasn't set and we don't want any like muddiness or patchiness. So using tapping motions, and I like to go in a circle. So yeah, we're on to setting the face, and I'm taking the Huda Beauty Peach Pie. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bake the under eyes first, and I am oily, so I can afford to do this. If you have dry skin, I don't recommend you baking like how I am, but with the excess powder, I'm setting the rest of the face. And then of course I had to add a little bit powder down my nose to snatch the nose. And then, like I said, here I am just starting to set the face right here on the sides of the cheek. And then I'm going to go ahead and bake. I always like to set the area first and then bake. I feel like it just makes everything look more seamless. And then, of course, I'm just going back over the cheeks with more powder because I'm an oily girl and I don't want to see any shine. So I'm taking that same Give Me Glow Cosmetics bronzer to go ahead and sculpt the nose, because remember, we did not set that cream bronzer. So here we are. And as you can see, it looks really nice. It's sculpting really good, and that powder on the side really helps to make sure that the bronzer is nice and diffused so that we don't have like a super harsh nose contour. So now I'm taking this P.LOUISE Cosmetics paint. This is in the shade Bare Boo, and it's essentially just like a dark brown, I don't even know how to describe this, because you can use this as like, it's kind of like, I guess, like a gel formula. So I'm adding it onto the eyes. You can use this as like liner, lip liner, to set the base, eye primer, brows. It's a multi-use product. So I'm just adding that into the waterline, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set that under eye just to well, the lash line, set the lash line just to make sure that it doesn't move, because we are gonna smoke out that lower lash line. So I'm dusting off that powder right here, and as you can see, the under eyes is looking nice and blurred. The face is looking smooth. There's no white cast or anything like that. Everything looks just flawless, and I am super obsessed with how this beat came out. I felt like I just needed a little bit more depth to the face because I don't know, I'm a 2016 girly. I love a good contour, so I'm taking this L'Oreal bronzer. This is their deepest shade, I believe, and I'm using that to sculpt. And here I am being bold using that Pink Honey brightener, and look at this, okay? And I tapped off a lot of the product, but as you can see, it's still bright, so I'm just dusting that off as much as I can. And yeah, we're gonna get into saving that part. So for highlighter, I'm gonna be taking this one from L'Oreal. This is Champagne Glow for the nose, and look at how sparkly, okay, the nose is sitting. But we gotta take a water break, okay? Y'all stay hydrated, okay? So now I'm going back with that Morphe setting spray because I want everything to be melted, okay? We're not gonna have any powderiness or anything unblended over here. So setting spray is your best friend, or some type of melting spray. So because I saw the highlighter, I was like, let's add a little bit of glow to the cheek. So I'm taking this NYX Buttermelt blush, and I love that this is such a beautiful coral shade, and it adds a beautiful glow. It's not too much, it is more blush than glow, and I really love that. But I was like, let me go ahead and add a little bit more highlight. So that's what I did, and as you can see, we are shining, okay? I definitely have been into like highlighting the cheeks more, and I just love it. I love to glow. But to just make sure it's blended, I'm just going back with my blush brush, and yes, honey, the face is sitting, okay? I'm starting to get activated, cutting up. So for lips, I'm taking this Give Me Glow Cosmetics lip kit. This is from their teddy bear collection. I'm not sure the names of it, so it'll be all listed in the description box, but I'm using that to fill in the lips. And then I'm taking a brown lip liner. This is a discontinued Morphe lip liner, but you can just use Morphe Trendsetter. And as you can see, these two lip liners alone are such a beautiful, beautiful lip combo. But of course, I'm going to go into the liquid lipstick that came with it, and we're going to blot it and marry it together. And I have this Salt Air Body Glow, and we are going to add her on just to really enhance the overall look of this video. It's giving definitely like high school graduation pictures. It's giving college graduate, and I'm super obsessed. I did graduate over 10 years ago, but I feel like this is just like such a baddie look. And this is the final look using these products that I have not shown on my YouTube. I hope you guys loved it because I have been loving these products, but I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.